Today I'm watching Buffy the Vampire Slayer Season 7, Episode 17. We're getting dangerously close to the end of this season. There's only a handful of episodes left. It's also the end of the series, which makes me extra sad. The previous episode was very Andrew focused. He had this POV documentary, vlog style episode and was interviewing everybody. We saw Anya and Xander sleep together. There was definitely some comedic moments. We had some flashbacks as Andrew was kind of rewriting history in his own mind, thinking, what a great hero he was and all these great things that he did. And we had Andrew's tears ended up closing the seal in the Hellmouth, so I'm not sure really what that means for the first. The entire Sunnydale High School was completely overrun. The students were rioting, and we had the principal almost kill Spike because we know that Spike is the one that killed the principal's mom. I don't think Spiker knows that. I don't think Spike remembers that or has put that together at all, but yeah, I'm very worried to see where that's going to go. We know Buffy had the vision with just, hundreds and hundreds of these super vampires and doesn't really think the potentials are good enough to, pull off what they need to pull off because they know a fight with the first is going to be very intense. So yeah, I'm curious to see where this is going to go. I'm not sure we need another Andrew, POV story, but it was interesting to see kind of what his thought process was and to have some flashbacks as well. So I'm curious to see where we're going to go in this episode. But thank you so much for sharing and this first time watching with me. If you have any other suggestions for TV shows you think I should watch, please comment below. And if you want to have a say in what movies or TV shows I watch, be sure to join Patreon. And as always, please like, comment, and subscribe to this channel and check back often for more awesome content. Yeah, I think this is going to be the subway flashback where Spike kills the principal's mom. Oh.
Well, all right. Got the moves, don't you? I want to ride you hard before I put you away, love.
Oh, my.
A little wet and limp to me. And I ain't your love.
He was watching? What? What? Also, I thought this was on a subway. Why are we in the rain? What? I'm guessing he snuck out to follow her and that she didn't take him with her? Oh!
By the way, love the coat.
I was like, I'll take it from you one day. Okay, so this was part 1 of their feud. Obviously, yeah, they had another fight on the subway.
It's what matters. Right? That's my boy. Come on.
Yeah, that's interesting that he, came along while she was either on patrol and, these attacks happened. So, he obviously saw her in action.
Little tip, mate. Stake's your friend.
And now Spike saved him. I don't think that's going to change his mind, but I think the principal's still going to hate Spike, obviously, but, oh gosh,
No, it can't be that easy.
You call that easy?
Hey, any apocalypse I avert without dying? Yeah, those are the easy ones.
She's like, all I had to do was make Andrew cry. It was easy peasy.
Yeah, what I remember of her anyway.
Gotta tell you, not a line every girl likes to hear, but in this case...
Drusilla's in this episode? Yes!
Maybe everything is fine.
Everything's terrible. Total catastrophe.
Giles.
Certain the first is continuing to gather its forces. I'm afraid war is inevitable.
But how, I'm curious to find out how they're actually going to get out.
In the meantime, it's not much, but...
Giles.
Knowledge comes from crafted bindings and pages, Buffy, not ones and zeros.
The boy has always loved his books.
Killing again.
So he has a trigger, a soul, and a chip?
Not anymore.
It was killing him, Giles.
The trigger.
No, the chip, the trigger.
We're going in circles. We're going in big circles here. Just send him season 4. He'll be fine.
You can remember?
Wasn't like it had a catchy hook or anything. I'm coming up, so you better get this party started. Oh, it's boring old in English.
Is that Pink? Sounds familiar.
Brenner. Yul Brenner.
Nice save.
Bit of magic.
Well, we couldn't have put these chains back up a week ago. No, we gotta work on Spike now of all times.
Yeah, I feel like Spike shouldn't be your top priority. If the first are still coming back somehow, without the seal being opened.
You might need support.
Right, let's get this over with. What are you gonna do? Some
Hypno beam, a disarming spell.
Also, don't they want Spike to kill people? Like, with this end coming soon, don't they want him to be on a murderous rampage?
Reaction. So? We have to put this in your brain.
What? Another chip?
Stone will move within your mind.
Giles, really?
Hopefully, once you understand what it is that's setting you off, you can break its hold on you.
Hopefully.
Also, how? More brain surgery?
Rubble into my cranium.
Willow?
Okay. Just hope my pronunciation is in the ballpark.
Yeah, you don't want to be wrong with brain surgery.
Kelly Bushash, Ekvoda, Morosh, Bodake.
And where exactly are you putting that thing? Oh my god. How's it getting in?
What now?
Which orifice?
Cerebral cortex via the optic nerve.
Oh, your eyeball. That'll be fun.
I think it takes up that much space, to you?
Rude. We're doing this again? Really? We just got the chip out and they're like, let's shove this gooey worm in through his eyeball. Oh my god.
Spike!
Stop putting things in this poor guy's brain.
Balls of honey. Angels' harps her laugh. Oh, lark,
It's poetry, Spike. My favorite.
crooked be Cupid's shaft.
He just needs some creative encouragement.
The lark, her name it hath spake. Cecily.
But that hairpiece, please no.
There will be an addition to this household. But I will always look after you, Mother. This I promise.
Well, I mean, you're a vampire. You're going to live for hundreds of years. But yeah, other than that.
Should I send the coach for Dr. Gull?
I'll be all right.
I think she's got tuberculosis and will most likely not be all right.
How could you use a poor maiden soul?
Yep. And we're back to Vampire Spike. You brought this on yourself. Stop putting things in the guy's brain. Oh, and out he goes. Well, congratulations, your experiment was horrible. Clearly we know where his trigger is now.
It's called Early One Morning. Old folk ditty. What's it mean to you?
Mean? Nothing.
It's like my mother used to sing it to me.
Just, my mom. It was a favorite. She used to sing it to me when I was a baby.
That's not how the story goes.
Blah 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 blah.
Willow, call for you from LA. Somebody named Fred.
Yes! It's the crossover from Angel. I've seen that episode, so I was wondering when it would finally catch up to Buffy.
So the trigger's still working.
Much as ever.
I'm sure it's super frustrating for Spike. Like, he wants to figure this out as well. Okay. This is not happening.
Such a pretty house you have, sweet Millie.
I did miss Drew. She's absolutely nuts.
And Viscera.
But I'm never bored. She's always exciting.
Won't be here for long, love.
Is Drew his trigger? That would make more sense.
Elitist with their folder all just what?
3.
You, me, and Mother. We'll open up their veins and bathe in them.
She's like, you know what? I wasn't planning that your mom would be joining us for this little bloodbath.
Yeah. You like her.
To eat, you mean?
Not exactly. Oh, look, there she is.
Mother.
Where have you been? I've been beside myself for days.
You needn't have worried, Mother.
His collar is just so ruffled.
Who is this woman? I'm the other that gave birth to your son. I beg your pardon.
It's true, Mother.
Not in a literal sense, but...
She has made me what I am. I am no longer bound to this mortal coil.
Why did I think Angel was Spike's sire?
A creature of the night.
Maybe not.
A vampire.
This conversation's gonna go well.
No more sickness. No more dying.
Just feasting on the blood of people. No big deal.
Let me do this for you.
What are you talking?
Oh, he wants to turn his mom into a vampire too?
Are you acting so strangely?
Bold move.
It's only me.
And chomps the neck.
Be together forever.
Spike's a mama's boy. Okay.
William.
For a moment.
Okay. I love the flashbacks. I wasn't expecting this storyline.
A day or two.
What's wrong?
Nothing you need to worry about. I'll give you the full scoop later. Maybe I'll even bring back some good news.
I was wondering if she was going to tell Buffy. It's the last thing Buffy probably needs, but...
Just the right time to use it against us.
It does seem doubtful the first simply forgot it had such a powerful weapon.
They definitely said, like, it wasn't his time yet a while ago, so...
As a matter of fact, I was raised by a watcher.
You what?
Bernard Crawley. Took me in when I was a young kid.
Giles is like, well, this is a plot twist I wasn't expecting.
Yes.
Spike killed your mother.
And now everybody's up to speed. All right, here we go.
For the greater good, Giles. And you know I'm right.
Yeah, I think Giles is probably going to agree, but... I mean, he's known Spike a lot longer. They're not best friends by any means, but Spike has his soul now.
What exactly do you propose?
And obviously the principal
Just need you to keep Buffy away for a few hours.
mostly, like, wants revenge. Obviously. This is just a convenient way to use that.
Is this really a primo time for a training session?
I'm still your teacher, Buffy.
And the fact that Giles is going to distract Buffy so that the principal can possibly kill Spike, like, come on.
You're kind of full right now? Plus, I'm not really sure how I feel about leaving Spike at Robin's house to watch over him.
Yeah, like, this should be a red flag, Buffy.
Hello? All I do is look at the big picture. The other day, I gave an inspirational speech to the telephone repairman.
She loves her speeches.
Nowadays, principal ain't got you down in a place to cut loose. Let your hair down.
Why does this look like the old training center behind, Maybe it's not. Oh, there's a lot of crosses on the wall. Yeah, keeping it casual. I was just thinking of when Buffy had a little training center.
What the bloody hell is this?
No, I told you. It's my, essential.
Vampire's worst nightmare.
What's your story?
Well, let's not open this just yet. I think you'll regret it.
See, you strike me as the kind of guy who just...
Sending off a few emails, taking his shirt off. What are we doing? I do love the throwback to the old Mac. Oh, what are those for, sir? Spike, now would be your time to leave. Excuse me.
Very long time. Ever since you killed my mother.
And there she is. Yep.
A lot of people's mothers.
Yeah.
You're wearing a coat.
You'd remember mine.
Oh my god, he just has these casually in a drawer.
I want to kill the monster who took my mother away from me.
He's like, I have a soul now, okay?
Early one morning, just as the sun.
His trigger song. His trigger song. Really? Really? Oh.
Yes. Or better.
You're glowing.
Am I?
That classic vampire glow.
Tender.
Well, this is as it should be, Mother. You and I together. All of love.
And what's in the box?
It's wee beak. You honestly thought I could bear an eternity listening to that twaddle?
Oh! His mom actually hates his poetry. Oh, shoot. He turned her into a vampire because he wanted to spend eternity with her. And she's like, thank God I'm free of you. Oh, no.
Everything. understand everything.
She's like, bye, I'm free, see you never.
To be cruel? No, I don't. I used to hate to be cruel in life.
It's turned her into a bad person. Yeah, she doesn't care anymore.
Fingers off my apron strings, will it?
Stop, please.
Ever since the day you first slithered from me like a parasite.
Whoa! Dang!
Lifetime of tedium and just dashed your brains out when I first saw you.
Wow, wow, wow. Secrets are coming out. This is harsh.
Always be a limp, sentimental fool.
Oh my, that's not where I thought this was gonna go at all.
Beat the life out of her. Toyed with her. When you snap her neck!
Oh my gosh. Buffy is gonna be very mad if Spike dies.
Would you let this vampire live if it meant saving the world?
Sure. Seems like a nice enough guy.
Thanks.
Bye, Richard. Ooh!
Guy yet?
No. So you really do understand the difficult decisions you'll have to make?
She's made so many difficult decisions, Giles. You took off.
Jeopardize our chances of winning.
Yes, I get it.
And yet there is Spike.
Ooh, sidelines.
Just all about the hunt.
Oh, Spike is not looking good. Oh, he's taking back his mom's coat.
Think you'll be able to love her? Think you'll be able to touch her without feeling me?
Oh my, oh my, oh my, oh my.
Teeth into me, an eternal kiss.
Ah, stop.
You wanted your hands on me. Perhaps you'd like a chance to finish off what you started.
Stop, stop.
This is what you've always wanted.
No, gross.
Little prince.
No!
Stop.
Get out. Get out!
Okay, okay, this is going horribly wrong.
There, precious. It will only hurt for a moment.
That's what he said to her. Oh.
I'm sorry.
Yeah, I saw that coming. He did say he killed anybody that talked bad about him. Well, you made your vampire mom for one day, then you killed her. Bye.
Sorry. You think sorry's gonna make everything right?
I wasn't talking to you.
It's like I was having a very intense flashback of my mother.
That's the way the game is played.
Game?
Those are some fierce chops. Oh!
You took her away. She was all I had. She was my world.
Oh.
Shut up. You didn't know her.
Oh!
No. She loved me.
And not enough to quit, though, was it?
Oh, wow, 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 wow.
But you helped me figure something out. You see, unlike you, I had a mother who loved me back.
Ouch. He is not helping things.
I realize that now. My mother loved me with all her heart.
Yeah, and obviously he doesn't want to think the worst of her. I guess the song's not a trigger anymore, so this worked.
Thanks, Doc. You killed me after all.
Unintentional, but yep.
I just wanted you to know that. Before I kill you.
Okay, no. No! Spike! Come on, we were making progress.
How helpful your relationship with him was. Spike, on the other hand, lacks such self-awareness.
Spike is here because I want him here.
And Spike's had a soul for like a fraction of the second that Angel has.
Really?
You're keeping me away.
It's time to stop playing the role of general and to start being.
She'd never forgive Giles if anything happened to Spike.
This is the way wars are won!
Giles, low blow.
Oh my god.
I gave him a pass. Let him live. On account of the fact I killed his mother.
So nice of you.
He even so much as looks at me funny again, I'll kill him.
But I can't imagine how this would have gone down if Buffy would have walked in, you know. Oh my gosh.
A couple years ago, I came home and I found her dead on the couch.
Such a tough episode. My heart.
Again, he'll kill you. More importantly, I'll let him.
Well, she's picked her sides, and that answers that question.
To win this war. To save the world. I don't have time for vendettas.
It's not going to bring his mom back. I understand. Oh, that's what his mom used to say. Oh.
Please believe me, we did what
He's alive. Spike's alive. Wood failed.
And your plan backfired.
You need to learn.
No. I think you've taught me everything I need to know.
Yeah, I think the Giles lectures are getting a bit old at this point. Literally closing the door in his face are harsh. So it's my first time watching Buffy the Vampire Slayer season 7 episode 17. We finally have our showdown between Robin and Spike, and we definitely had some flashbacks which I thought were great. I'm glad that the principal was not able to actually kill Spike. I didn't think he would. Spike's been such a big character, and yes, I understand that he had this trigger. He was able to figure it out in this episode, but the principal and Giles kind of teaming up to kill Spike, I just thought was not necessary. Like, they have so much going on, and I understand that they'd be worried that Spike could be triggered and start acting out, but he also has a soul now, and I know they've all seen horrible Spike and they're all aware of what he can do, but again, I feel like we've kind of moved past that. Even Spike now had a chance to kill Robin, and he doesn't. He even saves Robin from another vampire attack. Like, I feel like he's been proving himself, quite a bit. And I will fully admit, I'm not always Spike's, biggest fan, but I feel like he's definitely been trying to, prove that he is here to help. He's on the team. And again, it felt very much like flip-flop. Like, we need you to be this brutal killer, when the war comes, but also we don't want you to get triggered because, that might make you a horrible killer. It's like, pick a side. Also, can we stop putting things in his brain? Like, it just felt, when they were doing it, I was kind of just waiting for like a dream sequence to kick out or something to happen, because we literally just had this chip taken out of a brain, and Giles's big, freaking plan is to put something else up his brain to figure out what the trigger is. Like, really? And all that does is send Spike into memory lane with these flashbacks, and it's not until he's with the principal that he's able to figure out, the song, and he definitely does get triggered at the start of that scene, but by the end of it, it has no effect on him. He's able to work through his mom issues, through that. And, he says this verse doesn't have a hold on him anymore. He's able to figure out the trigger. Obviously, we could find out later that that's not true. Please, no spoilers. But he did attack the principal. But again, the principal was literally trying to kill him in a room full of crosses and then walks out. He doesn't kill him. I think he's just trying to send the message of, like, you came after me. You set me into a trap. You tried to kill me. We know Spike killed Nikki. But Spike's, defense is that she's a vampire slayer, I'm a vampire. Like, that's kind of how it goes. This wasn't Spike on some bloodlust vengeance, which we've definitely also seen. And this wasn't some random person. Like, this was somebody who was, coming after him. And we saw that them fighting in the rain, obviously that subway fight that ultimately led to Nikki passing away, wasn't the first time that they'd met. And the fact that she either brought Robin with her, I don't know if she had, somewhere else that she could bring him, but he was waiting behind the bench, ends up, creating a distraction so that his mother is able to escape. But it was like, why is she bringing her kid, to this? Maybe they were just randomly attacked. We didn't really get to see them beforehand. Maybe they were just out on a walk, who knows? But yeah, it was very interesting to see these, like, son and mother relationships and the different dynamics within them, and, Spike being verbally very cruel towards the end. It's saying, she didn't care about you enough to leave you at home. She didn't care about you enough to, quit being a slayer. She didn't care about you enough to, choose you basically over being a slayer. And I don't really know what that would look like. Being a slayer doesn't really seem like a job you can quit. But again, I think Spike is not enemy number one right now. And even, like, before, he was willing to be chained up in the basement. Like, I feel like he's taking every step possible to prove that he, is on this team. It just feels like it should have been like 2 seasons ago. You know, the fact that they're still so resentful of Spike, they're still so like convinced that, you know, he's our problem, and Buffy's literally like, there's a war coming, like you have to put your, you know, revenge on hold, and it's not going to bring back your mom. And yeah, it didn't feel like a distraction, but it just kind of felt like this isn't about the first. This is an episode where Spike and the principal are, you know, dueling out their revenge. And again, I did love the flashbacks. I did think it was a good episode. It's just, again, I feel like they're kind of stalling to wait to the end to get to this big battle with the first, which is fair. It's a long episode season. You know, each season has been, you know, 22 episodes. So I get they have to stretch it out. And again, in no way do I think this is a bad episode. I really enjoyed it. It's just the fact that the principal Spike storyline, didn't think it needed to be a whole episode. And Giles and the principal teaming up, we have seen Giles, I don't want to say betray, but we have seen Giles not act in necessarily Buffy's best interest a few times, not very often obviously, but teaming up with the principal to basically fully aware that they were going to kill Spike. That was their plan. Giles was on board with it, and he's just, this episode he felt very overbearing and doesn't come back with any new recruits, and he's just, you know, purposely taking Buffy out to the graveyard and being like, don't kill this vampire, don't, like, obviously stalling. Buffy figures it out, but how could you do that to Buffy? Like, Buffy openly says, I don't want Spike to leave, and I know Giles and Spike obviously have never been best friends, but again, I kind of thought we were past this point, especially in season 7. This feels like a, you know, again, like a season 3 or 4 or 5, like it feels like we should have done this a long time ago, and killing Spike shouldn't be our number one mission. And again, yeah, I couldn't imagine Buffy's reaction if she would have found out that Giles knew that this was happening, and if she would have walked in and seen that Spike, I guess she wouldn't have seen anything, Spike would have disappeared, but if she would have found out that Spike, you know, was killed by the principal, she's never going to speak to the principal again, and that Giles knew about it. I feel like Giles and Buffy's relationship has definitely gotten more distant over the seasons, but to me, this just felt like, again, overbearing, you know, father figure waving your finger, like, you do what I say, like, you can't make tough decisions, and don't you know how important, it's like, buddy, she gets it. Like, you know, bringing up Glory and Dawn again as well, being like, well, you wouldn't sacrifice your own sister to save the world, so are you gonna sacrifice this guy? And, you know, even Buffy saying like, yeah, she would, like, if it came down to it, she would, you know, obviously she wouldn't enjoy it, but she understands the grand scheme of things, that one person versus the entire world, you know, obviously she's gonna pick that one person to sacrifice. So, and again, this just feels like conversations we've had before, like we're going in circles, and it's just like, you really think she, you know, doesn't understand the severity? She's given so many speeches, and they make fun of her for her speeches in this episode too. It's just like, she hasn't stopped talking about how serious this is and how important it is. And Spike probably has special treatment because Buffy cares about him. I'm not saying in like a lovey-dovey, you know, romantic way, but she obviously cares about him, as she cares about everybody in the Scooby Gang. And the fact that he is also a very talented fighter, they're gonna need that. She's not just going to kick Spike out now. I really enjoyed the flashbacks. Getting to see Drusilla again was great. We haven't seen her in so long. And we get, you know, the phone call from Angel in this episode. Willow goes off to LA to try and help them with that situation. I was wondering when the Buffy episodes would catch up with that. So that's great to see it's finally happened. And we don't really have a ton of scenes with Andrew in this episode. They talk about the seal very briefly. High school's gone back to normal, which is good. But obviously the first is still going to be a main threat. I don't know what their plan is without using the seal. That was very much their portal, you know, into Sunnydale. I'm sure they have other horrible methods, but I don't know what it is now. Like, there was no real research into the first for this. It was just all about Spike and his trigger and how this first might use it against them. It was definitely interesting to learn about Spike and his mom and their relationship, and how he wanted to turn her, you know, into this vampire, and that just brought out this demon. You know, that's what he comes to realize in this episode, is that all those horrible things that she said to him, which clearly stuck with him for a long time, as it would. Also, he's a vampire. He's got nothing but time on his hands, and the person he kind of cared about the most and literally wanted to spend eternity with Drusilla, who in no way was happy about the fact that he was bringing his mother along. But clearly when her vampire, you know, demon side came out, she was just full of hate for Spike and just saying the most horrible things to him. And I love every time we get to see Spike's more sensitive side before he was a vampire, and, you know, reading his poetry and just all the things that were so important to him. And and how he's kind of lost that compassion, you know, over the years of being a vampire. And I think it's slowly starting to come back now. Obviously, he has a soul now as well, which helps. But yeah, I love anytime we get to see the flashbacks, especially since the vampires have such a long, you know, running history of hundreds of years. There's so many pieces to pull from. Overall, I thought it was a good episode. Spike's no longer is affected by this trigger. So if the first tries to use it, he's fine. Hopefully that gets Giles off his back, and hopefully the principal, you know, leaves him alone now, because again, you're 30 years into this, you know, revenge, and they were a vampire and a vampire slayer. Like, unfortunately, things are gonna happen, and we did hear Spike apologize, but it was not to the principal, and I feel like the principal's got to work through his stuff. And, you know, Spike basically says if he tries anything again, I'm gonna kill him. And Giles and the principal setting Spike up, you know, to die. Like, he walked in there having no idea. Like, he thought he was just, you know, like, okay, let's, you know, hang out, I guess, while Buffy is being, you know, distracted in the graveyard by Giles. And I don't know where Giles and Buffy relationship is going to go anymore. I feel like this overbearing, lecturing father figure is getting really old really fast. And the fact that, like, Giles was gone for a long time. So for him to show up and start lecturing her about not making hard decisions, she's like, I had to figure out a lot of shit while you weren't here. And, like, she's grown up so much over the course of the show. And yes, obviously Giles, you know, has been a great mentor, but I feel like their time might be coming to a close, because she literally closed the door in his face. And I don't know what she would have done if Spike would have died. Like, that would have been, you know, very, very different conversation, obviously. And the way Giles seemed disappointed when he found out that Spike, you know, did in fact live. Obviously his plan backfired, so the new recruits weren't in this a ton. Again, I still don't really know what their plan is for the first. Like, this was all about the principal and Spike, so they know the first is obviously still out there. The seal is closed. The high school's back to normal. We're getting dangerously close to the end of the season and the end of the series, so they gotta think of a plan fast. I mean, we're running out of time. But thank you so much for sharing in this first time watching with me. If you have any other suggestions for TV shows you think I should watch, please comment below. And as always, please like, comment, and subscribe to this channel, and check back often for more awesome content. We're doing this again? Really? We just got the chip out and they're like, let's shove this gooey worm in through his eyeball. She's like, you know what? I wasn't planning that your mom would be joining us for this little bloodbath. Sending off a few emails, taking his shirt off. What are we doing? I do love the throwback to the old Mac. Oh, his trigger song. His trigger song. He's taking back his mom's coat.